Calipari's already going to the midcourt strike. John Shulman meets him there at midcourt. Kareem Watkins is going to dribble it out. A long conversation. And the Razorback faithful are on their feet at Simmons Bank Arena. 15,000 strong today. And they've watched the Hogs improve to 9-2 on the season. All Arkansas from the get-go today. 82-57, our final score.
This is the Morning Rush.
All right, so plenty of basketball to talk about. There's some moves in the transfer portal as well. So I take Monday edition of the Morning Rush, brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV. A couple things as we get going. I have not watched the final episode of Yellowstone, so please no spoilers, Tommy.
Oh, no.
And haven't watched the latest episode of Landman, so no spoilers there.
I'm too behind on it.
I was watching Sunday Night Football. I did not move from my couch with the exception of getting food and doing a little work yesterday. I was about as lazy as it gets. I took a 30-minute stroll in my neighborhood, counted that as exercising, came up here to the station, got some cow clips for this morning and some other plays, and that was the extent of maybe 45 minutes that I actually worked yesterday. But, yeah, I was about as lazy as it gets. I watched the noon slate, the 3:25 slate, and Sunday Night Football. And it looks like the Thunder Ducks are going to advance in the quarterfinals of our fantasy football league. I know you're ecstatic about that.
I walked 18 holes yesterday.
Okay, you actually did something.
Well, I played terrible, but I walked 18 holes, played awful. Let's see, watched a little bit of that Eagles-Steelers game. Boy, they like to fight in that game, didn't they? That was a
Philly
fun
and Pittsburgh, man. They I know it's not Baltimore, Pittsburgh, but those towns do not like each other.
And then I did watch all of the final episode for this season, at least, of Yellowstone.
Do you have a rating? As we're getting going, do you have a hot take?
It's the best one of the last five.
Back
or
half.
whatever.
Well, that's not saying much because this season hasn't been.
It's the best one, but
Okay.
I'm still. They didn't
Left
really
wanting?
end it. Well, I don't know if I left wanting more, but it was the best episode of this season.
Tyler in Greenwood said it's not even worth watching. So he texted
I
him this
disagree
morning.
with that.
Okay. So I do need to watch it. By the way, I am I'm going to
If they do come out with another season, there's some very important facts and details you got to know.
I'm also going to switch deodorants. That's my hot take this morning. I've been an Old Spice Classic guy for years, but anytime I wear a jacket, and it by the way, it's not even cold today. I woke up this morning, I walked outside, and I licked my finger and did this. I was like,
Why do you lick your finger and do that?
The wind, anything, just tradition and whatnot. But it was not cold at all this morning. And I was like, am I in the right state? It's December the 16th, and it's not chilly whatsoever. And now anytime I wear a jacket, it's like the deodorant doesn't even work. So I'm going to switch deodorants from Old Spice Classic. If there's a recommendation out there, please send it in at 877-377-6963 because I'm convinced it does not work. I sweat through it all the time.
What doesn't keep you from sweating? Just keeps you from stinking.
I don't think it's doing its job there that either, just to be honest.
Well,
there's a hot take for you this morning.
There you go. So, well, good luck on your search for a new deodorant.
Please, what do you use?
It's a
Right Guard. What, just for men? I don't even know the brands. I've been an Old Spice Classic guy for, I don't know, since I was in middle school. And now I'm going to have to switch just because I don't think I think I've outgrown it all these years later. I've turned 30. That's maybe had something to do with that. I don't know. But
everything changed in the course of one day, right?
It's the gel version, by the way, Tyler. He's asking if it's dry or gel this morning.
I have to be careful.
Don't use
certain ones break me out.
Don't use what Bruce Pearl uses. That comes from B in Clarksville. Jordan from Green Forest says the Old Spice, stay within that, but get the red zone, get the fresh scent is what he uses.
And at least we weren't sweating on Saturday watching the Razorbacks against
not at all.
UCA. All right, Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands at the best prices and a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. It's all at Wheels RV. Merry Christmas from Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Whoop Big Steven says you can't go wrong with Dove or Degree. I'm be curious to what Clay uses. He's going to join us in about 55 minutes for now. Hopefully he's got a brand that he sticks with. He says, Andy Mountain Home says, Ty, there is a difference between deodorant and antiperspirant. Maybe I need to get one of each. Either way, keep sending them in. Let's get into our opening drive.
Big hole out over the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Could he do it? To the 40, to midfield. Braylon to the 40, to the 30. They're going to catch him inside the 25-yard line. They'll run him out of bounds at the 20. Braylon Russell made a bid.
He's a freshman in high school. He was 6'2", 225. And I didn't really know who he was. I mean, he was 14. He ran 4.53. We offered him a scholarship, you know.
Going out there for my home state feels really good.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
So there's a highlight. Pittman and Braylon Russell talking about playing for Arkansas. And Tommy tweeted out yesterday, "Thank you, Arkansas. It's time to do what's best for me and my family. Number 0 out." The Benton, Arkansas native is now, I think originally from Hot Springs, I should say, but he is now re-entering the transfer portal, I guess. I don't know if he actually ever went in or not. It sounded like he was going to. And then they said this has been an interesting story to follow here in the last week or so. And this was a guy that a lot of people were really excited about. You saw flashes against Tennessee. I think that was the highlight from the Mississippi State game, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was another one. But either way, this one stings a little bit because he's an in-state kid.
Well, and, Pittman talked Thursday he spoke? I lost track of my days over the weekend, but I think it was Thursday was his press
conference. That sounds right, yeah.
That, when guys leave the right way and maybe they want to have a conversation and come back, they can. I don't know, he was asked later on what's the right way and the wrong way. You'd like to get a little update. Are these some guys that left the right way or the wrong way? Now, it seems like everyone that enters officially, and really makes it hard-pressed and known, they've got a place they know they're landing. And I think that all the starters and the good guys, they're not entering the portal without a plan. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious at this point. So the question is, can you replace starters with starters? Mm-hmm. Can you replace guys that you're losing that are on your 2 deep or are playing significant minutes with guys from other Power 4 SEC level schools that are playing a high level of minutes and starting at other schools? It's not going to advance this team and this roster if you're replacing guys that are starting with guys that can't get on the field at most places.
And it's a balance because you plucked away Andrew Armstrong, who is arguably one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the SEC from Texas A&M Commerce, which you probably driven by that campus before I have. It's small little school in Texas versus a kid like Xavier Sori who couldn't get on the field at Georgia. And just because of the talent around him. So it's like a balance of back and forth. If you're going to go get a kid that can't get on the field, typically it's going to be at a blue blood type of program. That's why, because he's going against NFL talent in practice and sometimes just luck. And the flip side is you get kids that are maybe less heralded from other places, but they have a larger upside. So that's the balance that Sam Pittman and them have to do. Right now they have 3 signees. Shaq McCroy is the guy that you always talk about, the 6'8", 375-pound lineman from Pinson, Alabama. I think same high school as TJ and Tevis Metcalf. He's the one you got from Oregon. Talon Sharp.
4-star out of high school.
I think it's Raylan Sharp. I wrote down Talon. I think it's Raylan Sharp is the kid you got from Fresno State. And then Oklahoma defensive back Connie Walker are the 3 guys that you've got signed. Now,
that still makes you about minus 20.
Yeah. Keyshawn Davila is the number 1 JUCO cornerback. He's committed. I don't think he's signed yet, but he is at least committed to Arkansas. These things are again happening fast. So you've got 3 signees. He's a commitment. You might have another 1 or 2 that I'm missing, but you've got several transfer portal exiters like Mr. Russell.
And you'll feel better as you get the news on the good side. All you've heard for a week is bad because there hasn't been an opportunity until this weekend to really hear what you're getting as the replacements for these guys. So I think Sam gave the fan base some confidence last week when Coach talked to the fans on that Zoom call that, hey, we got money. Now, I don't know if in fact, I'm pretty confident Arkansas does not have as much money as other SEC schools in large part, but you got more than where you were a year ago. And is that going to be enough to improve the roster over where you were at heading into the first of the year in spring football?
Just if you missed it last week, here was what he said.
We have money. Our donors have been very good financially to us. Revenue sharing coming up here in July. We have money. We're not losing these kids because we don't have money. We're losing them because what our value is per to what maybe they can get elsewhere has been at times substantially different.
Now that seems a little different. And I wonder in my head, it's like, did you get a surge because of the upcoming revenue distribution? Has there been more of an influx in NIL than what we heard him talking about prior to the Ole Miss game when he compared, what was it, Gucci versus blue light specials when it came to the defensive line? I don't know because I'm not privy to that information. But I am curious to see as they continue to get guys in here, either signees or we continue to see commits, what this Arkansas roster looks like moving forward. But again, the biggest thing from this weekend is Braylon Russell is now entering the transfer portal, which hurts. And to me, it always hurts. It's more of like a young in-state kid. Not that losing, like I love TJ Metcalf. That's the guy they talked about the most last year. I felt like in the offseason, you saw the game he had against Auburn, other plays he made throughout the year, and that one stings. But being that he played his high school ball at Benton, Arkansas, not too far from here in Fayetteville, it's just a different level, I think.
You ever round up for charity when making a purchase?
Yeah.
You do that, Big C? You ever let them round up your purchase from $9.64 to $10, and the change goes to, Arkansas Children's or St. Jude's or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't a major retailer in our state, I don't know, say Walmart, we'll just pick them. Why couldn't retailers like Walmart and any other set up a roundup campaign in Arkansas locations and Arkansas store, completely and totally optional, but you're at the checkout at the grocery store, the Walmart, your Dillard's or whatever. Wouldn't that be one way that fans that don't want to get committed to a monthly pledge, that don't have $100 a month to give to the Edge Fund? I mean, small change will add up in masses.
Tyler asked,
how many times would you round up if you were at Walmart buying your groceries?
Probably every time.
Would you round up? Big C says every time. I think we got to get creative and look at things so that, when Coach says, "Hey, we got money," that I think a lot of what he's saying there, and maybe I'm reading into it, he's counting on that revenue sharing, which everybody's going to have. They've got to find some other creative ways to engage a state that, at its core, and the common man doesn't have $100 a month to give.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got change to give you every time I round up, and if enough people did that, it'd add up to some significant money.
All right, that's your opening drive. Jason's texting a good question. I want to get into that coming up. He's also sending his deodorant text that we'll get. I'm really excited to hear from
the heavy
Clay.
Stuff here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear from Clay Henry
use?
About a variety of things this weekend. But I really want to know what Clay Henry uses in deodorant. And
Talcum
if I had
powder.
to guess, there's probably going to be a surge of sales in the state starting after 10 o'clock. Hey, your opening drive.
You do move the needle, sir.
No,
Yes,
I'm saying Clay. No, you took it the wrong way. I'm saying there's going to be whatever Clay voices his opinion. There's going to be a surge in sales.
Maybe he goes McConaughey. He just doesn't use any deodorant.
It's his natural scent. I'm sure Jean Ann, who, by the way, Jean Ann wished me a happy birthday. Of all the birthday text and stuff I received, hers stood out to me the most.
You, though.
No, it was a Facebook wall post.
There you go.
All right, that is your opening drive, brought to you by our friends at First Financial Mortgage. Ethan, Emily, their entire team can help you out like they did with me. Ethan's been with the company over 10 years, and First Financial Mortgage has 90 years of experience. Over 300 five-star reviews. He's the best lender in town. Might be the best golfer, too. 479-782-9300 is where you can reach him, or go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
All right, so there's 2 basketball games left this month, right? North Carolina A&T and then Oakland. Am I right on that?
Correct. This Saturday and next Monday.
So if you're wanting tickets to those games, and I know it's a sellout, but there's tickets available. If you go to SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner with the Razorbacks, I bet you can find some seats. Holiday time, taking the kids, those type of things. SeatGeek.com, the official ticket resale partner of the University of Arkansas.
Yeah, Greg Campy, John Calipari get a chance to rematch from the NCAA tournament game last year. They're friends, but I'm curious to see how that one goes next Monday. By the way, a quick question. I know you get a lot of these. Big C, you get a lot of these. When you have people put stuff on your wall that you don't know, do you respond?
Facebook wall?
Yeah. Like if they just send you something. I think it was 245 birthday messages, and that seems pretty monotonous to say thank you to every single one. So I didn't respond to any of them. I don't know if that's the right way to do it or not.
Just like them.
Okay,
go through and give them a like.
Just a like.
Make a post saying thank you to
If I really, if they're close,
just to acknowledge
personal
it.
friend.
But I'm saying,
most of the family and personal friends are going to call, text, whatever.
But I'm saying for those that you don't know, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, give them a like.
Okay. All All right, so I need to go and do that after the show or during a break or something.
That'd be pretty inconsiderate if you didn't.
Okay.
And
all
now
right.
it's been what?
Take it off and then see how many
96
people,
hours?
See how many people wish you happy birthday. Take
How
your
rude.
birthday off.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. I waited till Monday because you were doing stuff on Friday. I probably
Yeah.
should have asked on Thursday, but here's where we are this morning. Jason texted in. This is
And you're popular.
it's,
and you're
it's
popular.
just a benefit of hiring me, man. Congratulations on that. All right. Do you think
How lucky I am.
you should be
I say it
looking
every
in the,
morning.
Yeah, look in the mirror and say that every morning. Do
I
you?
just pitch myself to make sure it wasn't a dream.
That's your words, not
Yeah,
mine.
yeah, absolutely.
Do you think Sam is mainly going to put NIL funds towards getting a new offensive line? If so, I'm totally okay with that. So you've got
Heard Chuck say the same thing this morning.
yeah, you've got Fernando Carmona Jr. coming back. You lost, let's see, Addison Nichols. He hasn't announced yet. Braun's going to Kentucky. Patrick Kudus recently announced that he's going to go with Ole Miss with Taylor Braxton, Luke Has. Man, it would sting if Braylon Russell ended up going to Ole Miss. That's pure speculation on my part. But is that something that you anticipate, just based on what's happened so far, that Sam Pittman's maybe trying to do with this NIL fund that apparently has been bolstered a little bit?
Okay, you spoke so long, I'm not sure what the question was.
Is he using a good chunk of the NIL money for the offensive line?
line? I hope so. I don't know. I mean, can we call coach and ask him? There's five of your 22 spots, and I would just say line in general, because I don't think you can go wrong with spending money on getting a good inside tackle, a good edge rusher. So I'd say I would spend the biggest percentage of the money, maybe not a majority, but the biggest percentage of the money on offensive and defensive lines combined. Because I don't think you can go wrong with more linemen that can help immediately. I wouldn't spend big bucks on someone that can't help you immediately. Shouldn't spend big money on projects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Money should be spent on players that can help in 2025.
Because, like, when you think about it, I know people, we've talked about this a little bit. I know people, when you see the high school recruiting ranks, just comparatively in the SEC, it's not that great. It's just reality. But you would as we've talked about, you would much rather have a high-end transfer portal class than you would a high school one. Again, we've had to change the way we think about a lot of things, but that's kind of how it is. And I don't know, Tommy, I don't know if you caught this, but this was, and I'm forgetting the name of the Coastal Carolina. Oh, it's Tim Beck. Tim Beck had this to say, Coastal Carolina head football coach. And it really, to me, was the strongest take I've heard with the NIL and the transfer portal.
Extremely frustrating. One of the things that's changing in the landscape of college football, you're not building a program anymore. This isn't a program. Each year you just build a team. You try to find the best team that you can put out there every year, and you know the team's going to get hit by, quote, free agency, right? The portal and transfers and things. So
you're not building a program, you're building a team. And the whole concept, the coaching cliches you heard over the years, it's like it's about the program, it's about what we're doing here for the program. But is there anything incorrect he just said there? You're having to change it. I mean, Sam Pittman alluded to it. I don't have the clip in front of me. It was like, yeah, probably going to have 40 new guys. He was talking with Chuck on Sam Pittman Live about this. And it was the case last year. I think it was the case 2 years ago. And again, that's where you are in college football. And you've got to get lucky in some cases, because just because a kid has talent doesn't mean he's not hurting in the locker room. So it's just harder to it's harder to accurately in a month's time, couple weeks time, to figure out who would be a good fit for what you have on the roster.
Well, two things out of this that I think are realities is no longer are you in a situation where I think your team's going to come together and play great football in week 0 or week 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think we saw that across the board this year. Wouldn't you say, guys, that teams were slower starting, not very fluid, more fundamental mistakes, and just stuff happened across as you just watched games. Teams got consistently better as you hit the middle stride of the season. I think it's just going to be hard to get teams to come together in the limited amount of time you have in spring football and in August as well. And then I think so that's one thing. And then I think the days of give a coach 4 years to put his program together is way out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's a reasonable amount of time now? 2 years, 3 years? I don't know. But it's not 4. I mean, you ought to be able to get your program put together in couple of years now.
Oh, speaking
with the
of
portal.
putting something together,
What
I
if you
broke
you
the camera.
camera?
It's fixed now. I've had to real time try and fix this thing, considering that I knocked it off. But we are all good now, I think. Hopefully this thing is connected now.
Yeah. Well, you broke the stand on the camera. You were giving everybody car sickness.
It looks
as
funny.
You were moving the camera
Back
around.
and forth.
It looks funny.
But just like normal, here's Tommy on the right, steady, not shaky at all.
That's all right.
Ty on the left side of the screen, just all over the road, just everywhere. Can't seem to making your car sick. He's so off the
It's back.
guardrail
It's back now.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
for now. Hey, is the line still 1.5 on this game?
I think Texas is the favorite. Tech is the favorite now, Tommy.
Even with their quarterback, that was the other big news from the weekend, is their quarterback had surgery and is out. So
let's see. No, it's a pick'em game.
all right, I'm looking here at Bet Saracen right now.
It's a pick'em game. Wow. Thing keeps
I don't
going
know
back
how
and
you
forth.
can-
I would not bet on this game at all because you have no, like you said, the starting quarterback for Tech's out, but
Right.
now it's a pick'em game. It started with Arkansas being the favorites, then it went to Tech being the favorites, and now it's a pick'em game.
All right, you can find all that action at betsaracen.com, all the other bowl games and the NFL games that are starting to really heat up here at the end of the regular season, all at betsaracen.com. Fitzman Friday picks. I missed those on Friday, but we'll do it again this Friday. Anything you need involving a fence, gates, powered automatic gates, they can do it. Get your quote now so you can be ready to go at the beginning of the year with a custom installation with a design that's just for you and your project. Whether it's around your home or around your business, industrial, government project, there's no job too big or too small for the Fence Man. 479-782-3936, 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
We got our hog update coming up, plus Clay's going to join us live from the fly shop when we return.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday, presented by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side.
Nope, I saw him, Matt. You still do believe in Santa, right?
Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess, a couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW.
I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Ho, ho, ho.
I've been wrong before. 1978, I think it was.
This is the Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Swing into savings this Christmas at the Golf Nut with these unbeatable offers. Srixon ZX irons up to $200 off and Srixon golf balls. Buy 2 dozen, get 1 dozen free. Lessons are always a great idea for your golfer. Contact Matt Brooks to set up an appointment. From top-of-the-line equipment to stylish apparel, the Golf Nut has the perfect gift. Give the gift of a better game this Christmas at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Shop now and make this season a hole-in-one.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
We got a question about the offensive line for the upcoming Liberty Bowl game. This one comes from Rusty. Who's going to start at center? Well, I don't know if I'm 100% correct in this, but I do know some certain guys are going to factor in, like Joe Moore, like Kobe Branham.
Well, we're really high on Kobe Branham. I mean, really high on him. And so I imagine he'll obviously fight with Joe Moore for one of those spots in there. And then Brooks Edmondson would be a guy at a center spot. Joe Moore has been playing center as well. So, you know, we have 3 guys that's played a lot of ball for us available for the bowl. And then we've got to put in a few more guys. Joe's obviously played a lot of ball in his career, not necessarily a lot here, but I'm high on Kobe Branham, and I think it'd be a great opportunity for him, sort of like what Marion Harris's was a couple of years ago in the Liberty Bowl as well.
I know that Arkansas fans are disappointed to see guys enter the portal, but let's be honest, Tommy, some of these young guys, they're excited because they get to play now in this bowl game where if they had 2-3 guys in front of them, they weren't going to get an opportunity to play in Memphis, and that's changed a lot.
I tell you, Kobe Branham's getting ready to hit the starting lineup, and he's not going to look back. I think this guy will be a starter till it's time for him to make a decision about the next level, whether that's 2 or 3 years from now, we'll see. But maybe 4. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I think as long as he's healthy, I don't see anyone beating Kobe Branham out of a job moving forward.
Arkansas gets it done 82-57 in North Little Rock. One of the guys that really stood out was Trevin Brazile.
Wagner Down the lane to the rim. DJ missed it, but Brazil lays it in.
Clay's with us now. Clay, you've seen Trevin not necessarily have double-doubles because he's not getting the rebounds, but he's kind of hovering around 10 or 11 points, making some plays on the defensive end. I think he had 5 blocks in this game, if I remember it right. He's really seems reinvigorated with this Arkansas team.
Well, he's healthy, and that's the main thing. I don't think anybody ever questioned his ability. It was could he stay on the floor? Could he stay healthy? And I think that he looks like he's competed, and that's I think all these guys are playing hard, and if you're not going to play hard, you're not going to get time. And I think that's the essence of coaching. Can you get your guys to hustle and play hard and play defense?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that. He's moving his feet better. I didn't think he played very good man-to-man defense last year, and it might have been that that knee was in a situation where he couldn't move. But he looks like a little bit different player, and I haven't seen that 3-point shot, but that's not what exactly this team appears to need from him.
And that is your Hog Update this morning, and it's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Clay, we kind of opened the show talking about Braylon Russell, talked about the game a little bit. We'll continue to do that, but I am curious. I'm going to switch deodorants. We've gotten recommendations for Arm & Hammer, Investigate, various other. What deodorant?
Arm & Hammer.
Arm & Hammer. Okay, they typed it in wrong. What deodorant does Clay Henry use?
First of all, I'm going to tell you that as a 30-year-old, you're asking the wrong person. You're asking guys. How you smell is not important to me or Tommy or most of our callers. You need to ask ladies, what do they like?
Well, Tommy has to do a show. So does Big C with me in the confined
space.
But
it's not important what they think on that regard. Now, if you're going to ask Tommy or me out, maybe that's important.
The answer is no, by the way.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Are you following me?
I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some ladies that want to call in, that might be a direction you want to take this show. But it's there were some ladies at our Christmas party Friday. There's ladies around the office, so I mean, you might want to make sure that that they know you're not hitting on them, but just you might find out better information, like what's a turnoff, but now if you want to know what I use, and it's been the same for a long time, it's Old Spice Fresh, and I also have some Sport that I use. But Tommy's right, it ain't going to keep you from sweating, but when you do, it will kind of mask the BO a little bit.
Okay. Old Spice Fresh and Sport. I'm going to get off the classic.
One of those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad I know that. I was and yes, Clay, I value your opinion even when it comes to stuff like this. But yes, maybe it's good to ask a coworker or a friend on that.
I would say that traditionally, Old Spice is kind of an old man stuff, so that might not be what you want to go for.
I am aging pretty quickly, as I noticed working.
You're not old man.
No.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
You're 40 years from me.
Is it really that much? Yeah, it is. Jeez Louise. It is and
it's going to stay 40 years. It's just going to stay right there.
Till the end of time.
Yep. The math. Yeah.
You're just over there dumbfounded, right?
I'm not dumbfounded. I just don't have anything. I don't think I can.
You don't have
improve
anything.
this
You don't have anything to add to this.
No, you dug this hole. I'll let you dig your way.
Well,
out.
I figured Clay would come in guns hot. I use this, use that. Instead, it was another teaching lesson here at 9:34.
Well, no, I mean, but it's not important what we think. You need to find out. Like what in. I wouldn't ask a 60 or 70-year-old what smells good. I would go after the younger set. What do they like? What's a turn on? What's a turn off?
Hey, brought to you by Oaklawn Sports. They don't stink. Not at all.
No.
They've got it going on. The college football playoff field is announced. The hunt for the NFL playoffs is heating up. You can download the Oaklawn Sports app right now, the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. It's really simple. Once you activate your account for the first 10 days, get a $100 second chance bet on your first 10 days of your account. Debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, and more. It's easy with Oaklawn Sports. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Fake it to him this time, and they got a wide open target. It's one of the linemen. It's Skipper to the end zone for the touchdown. Dan Skipper. All 6'9" of them.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side.
Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right?
Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW.
I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Ho, ho, ho.
TEXASS.
This is
Fake
the
it to
Morning Rush.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play
Wonder all the time, where do I get my suits for all the weddings I go to? Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental. Rainwater's has dressed me from head to toe. So if you're renting or buying, your #1 men's clothing shop is Rainwater's. Experience the Rainwater's difference for yourself at 9700 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith or online at rainwater-s.com. When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you. Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, because it's fun to look good.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
Guys, I'd say the mood of most Razorback fans has been pretty gloom and doom about this transfer portal, and seeing, 23, 24 players, whatever it was, ended up entering the portal, many starters, impact players. Has your mood shifted or become, as the pendulum started to swing the other way, now that we've seen at least the first handful of players commit to Arkansas? Has your emotions simmered any at all? Clay, I'll start with you, and I know you don't get emotional about these things, but has your mood changed a little bit about the portal and, how Arkansas is going to fill its roster?
Tommy, I've tried my best, and I've done a pretty good job of it, of just trying to stay patient and knowing that, you really won't have a great feel for this until the middle of January. Shake it all out. I mean, part of it, I want to see some of these young players play in the bowl game, and see what their prospects are. I went through the signing list in detail, and I saw speed in the defensive line, which that promises to help with some edge rushers. Now those are young players. Those, you don't plug and play true freshmen in the defensive line very often. I think that what we see is that their approach is to have a balanced, level way of spending, and not spend too much on one player or another. That's sort of what the approach that I've heard that they are winning with at SMU. Now they're in the ACC, and that's different than the SEC, but that's still a Power 5 league. And they have paid their collective exactly the same for every player. It's exactly the same. Now, if you have an NIL deal outside the collective, you could make more. But it's you'll have a roster, and even the walk-ons, they get exactly the same at SMU all the way across the board. Now, whether that that'll work at Arkansas and the SEC, I'm not sure. And I don't know that that's exactly what Sam's doing, but I think that he is got an idea of what he wants to spend on players, and they're going to stick to it. They've made a plan. I saw a list of collective spending. It's went all the way to Texas at $22 million, Ohio State at $20. I think it showed Alabama at $15. Ole Miss was right in that neighborhood, and I think it might have shown 11 or 12 for Arkansas. So he's got more than he did last year. So this roster will be higher pay scale, so to speak. But you don't want to.
It's still relative to everybody else, though.
It is, but it's not at the bottom.
No.
It's not at the bottom, and it should be relative to what you can, be a top 25 school. And that's where Arkansas has always tried to be. That's not, there's not been too many years where they've been a top 10 school. You could probably add it up 15 years total since, say, 1960. Just, that's not where Arkansas is. Now, there's going to be some players that are going to buck that system, and they're going to go for more money. And I think Braylon Russell is one of those guys. I think that everyone has said from the start that he was a flight risk, and that's that's a term that they use in a different line of. But you know what I'm getting at. He didn't play at just one high school. He moved, and I'm not surprised to hear that that he might be in the portal. I don't know if he is or not yet. It was just one of those cryptic tweets that we try to interpret. Like thank you for your time, so to speak. But it's and Tommy, you had an interesting take that spend a lot for offensive and defensive line. I think it should be balanced. I think that there's value for wide receivers and cornerbacks and tailbacks and quarterbacks and tight ends, and linebackers. I mean, if you are void anywhere, you will not do well in the SEC.
Mm-hmm. But 9 of your 22 are there, and you're going to have to spend a lot on a quarterback.
Well, I'm just saying, don't spend more somewhere else than you're spending in the offensive line. So, yeah, I agree to that. Yeah. But I don't think you can spend more in the offensive line than you do at linebacker or cornerback is a terribly important position. Mm-hmm. And I think that if there's anything that I saw Arkansas be deficient in last year compared to the previous year when they had McLaughlin and Braxton, they could not play press coverage. And when they did, they failed miserably. And if they played back, then people were frustrated because they were dinking and dunk, like what LSU did. But I think that you have to spend at cornerback. You have to spend it. It's a total team game, but they were weak in the offensive line, so you got to fix that. There's no question. I think they have to fix edge rushers. They have to have speed on the outside. Those are areas. So offensive line, defensive line, it's important, but not any more important than any place else. If you're weak anywhere, you will die in the SEC.
So your question was just about or have you started to?
How's your mood about?
Yeah, about it a little bit. I would say so. Clay,
I'm just going to try to be patient. That's what I said initially.
Clay cited January, which is fine because that's the first portal cycle. But we got to remember this: the spring portal cycle too. So you got to think about that too. And I can't remember off the top of my head some of the players that Arkansas was able to get in that spring portal cycle, but I know they pulled a couple of important.
Maybe somebody like Dix might come.
So,
I mean, I don't.
Who's
I'm
now
not sure, but you're going to evaluate in the spring, and hopefully you had a lot of hits. That's the word that they use. Was it a hit? Did you fill needs? And then you say, okay, well, we got our starters, but we still don't have depth. And then you know what happens in the SEC after about 4 or 5 games, everybody's playing with backups. So you better figure out, okay, your early arrivals, are they any of those ready to play? Mm-hmm. What's the maturity level of your second year players? Some of those that not a lot of those have left.
Well, I think
that's what that second period's for.
And I think about you lost Chris Pupal, Rocket Sanders, KJ, Jaheim Thomas, some major pieces on a 4-8 team, and I was flipping my what. And they brought in guys like you referenced Steven Dix. I think he's a Florida State Marshall kid. I had no idea what he was going to do, and now he's probably going to be he was started this year and probably going to be started this year. So just because you have a name associated with your brand doesn't always mean they can't go get a better player. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. Number 1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. It's BYOB. Bring your own food, bring your own alcohol. Play one of over 500 golf courses. I know it's great weather today. It's a little rainy where Clay is, and honestly, it's been rainy across our state. But if you want to take advantage, as it has been colder in a climate-controlled place to play golf, do so at Cart Path Social. Check them out at cartpathsocial.com. Clay, you referenced Braylon Russell.
Russell gets the call again. Big hole out over the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Could he do it? To the 40, to midfield. Braylon to the 40, to the 30. They're going to catch him inside the 25-yard line.
That was the big play against Mississippi State. You heard Chuck there. He had the big runs against Tennessee late in that fourth quarter. The tweet you referenced, thank you, Arkansas. It's time to do what's best for me and my family. Number 0 out. I'm curious if where he winds up, if it's another SEC opponent or whatnot. But you're you're pretty depleted at running back right now. That's an area that they'd like to be able to get. I think they've got that Texas State running back in mind, potentially to wind up here in Fayetteville. But I'm curious to see what they add to that position, considering what you lost there thus far this offseason.
That's correct, and I think that there's 2 or 3 from the portal that are making visits, and I think you'll continue to evaluate that. You need 5 or 6. I mean, it's it's a position that you have to spend some money there. There's no question about it. It's what you have to look at. The players that they've left have all been on the injury list. I don't know how bad the injuries were, and were they sitting out because they wanted to sit out, or were they really hurt? I did see Russell work out in the pregame of the Texas game, and he did not have ability to cut. I mean, it was he wasn't moving well, so I know that he had injury problems at the end of the year.
Hey, if it's time to spruce up your existing home or even build a brand new one, you can trust the experts at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas to help choose the right financing options that works best for you and your family. Go to myaglender.com or drop in any of Farm Credit's 25 locations today and get started on building more family memories with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
It's always a good idea to listen to John Calipari postgame on the radio show with Chuck and Z, and he gave a little insight on what's happening next year. Sounds like New York's happening. Sounds like North Little Rock's happening. Well, Chicago's on the docket too.
The Thanksgiving Day game had 5.1 million viewers. We're doing it again next year. I can't tell you who it is yet, but it's ridiculous. It's in Chicago, so I can give you that. Start planning on being in Chicago. And that game, my guess, will be 6 million will watch, which would be the highest rated game in the regular season in the last 20 years. So we're trying to do those kind of things to get this thing amped up a little bit, even though I don't think it needs to be amped up any more than it's been.
So you've got a chance to play in Madison Square Garden, the Sprint Center this year. You went down to Miami, which will play another ACC opponent at home at Bud Walton this next year. I'm going to assume that's going to be in the United Center. So that's a pretty cool thing to already look forward to next season, and maybe you're already kind of you can plan around it now. It's a year out.
But they have that North Shore, that Miracle Mile. As far as shopping, that'll be a great place to take Laura. Tommy, I'm just kind of getting it out there early that she could probably do a lot of Christmas shopping there. How was that trip?
Won't be cold at all.
Everyone I talked to that went to New York City for this game had a great time, and I don't mean just the game. How was it, Tommy?
Add me to the list. It was a great time. The city was decorated perfectly for Christmas.
Buzzing.
And it was crowded. But had it, and I hope we do it again next year. Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands, the best prices, and always a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. You know, it's fun, though, getting invited. And a lot of it, they're inviting Cal, more so than Arkansas. But, guys, pretty fun to know all these venues and all these big-time events are on the horizon again.
Next year's going to be a lot of fun, just like this year's been non-conference. Only 2 more non-conference games till you open up against the Tennessee Vols. We'll talk more about that and some NFL stuff next.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
I should say it.
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side.
Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right?
Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW.
I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, ho.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, I'm Truett Tollett with WT Equipment in Springdale. As the year ends, we're motivated to move inventory and meet all your equipment needs. Take advantage of year-end pricing on New Holland, Bobcat, Hustler, Steel, and more across our 8 locations in Arkansas and Louisiana. Stop by for a cup of coffee or visit us online at WTEquip.com. Thank you for your business, and we wish you a Merry Christmas, a safe New Year, and a prosperous 2025.
This is the Morning Rush.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Are you ready to ride like a rock star? Then contact Luxury Limousines. Their 28-foot stretch limousines set up to 8 people. Once you're inside, enjoy superior sound, enhanced lighting, ice-cold AC, plus your own chauffeur to take you anywhere. College games, concerts, special events, and the upcoming Christmas holiday light tour. Just go to Facebook and like Luxury Limousine. Serving Fort Smith and all of Northwest Arkansas. Luxury Limousines.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds with a chance of showers and a few thunderstorms, especially early in the day. A high this afternoon, low 60s north, upper 60s south. We could see a few showers across the south early and then clearing out overnight, dropping down upper 30s north, upper 40s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Parents Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
On fourth down, Mahomes getting rid of it, but got caught underneath Tomlinson and Hall.
As far as the injuries go, Patrick, his right ankle has been hurt. It's not broken, but it's sore. He'll get started on the rehab part of it as we go, and then we'll just have to see how he does down the road here.
This is the Morning Rush.
So we got a lot of stuff done in hour number one. We just finished talking about Braylon Russell a little bit. For those that haven't heard, it sounds like, according to his Twitter, that he is re-entering the transfer portal or entering for the first time. We talked about Arkansas's 82-57 win in North Little Rock. Cal was really happy about that. And then Clay gave me some deodorant advice. So a lot that we discussed on a Hot Take Monday in hour number one. We'll talk a little NFL as we get going here on hour number two.
Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. Maybe that's what's making you sweat, Ty. It's Hot Take Monday. Maybe the
100%.
heat of the takes is creating the perspiration. Get by and see Wheels RV. They can get you one with a nice RV with a big, heavy-duty air conditioner to keep you from sweating so much. And in the summertime, that's great. Built-in kitchens, outdoor kitchens, all the features you're looking for. They've got them to help create memories that last forever. And Lee J and Chris and the crew there do such a great job. You deal with the owners every day because they're always right there to make sure you got everything you need, including top-notch customer service before and after the sale. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
So this hour is brought to you by Sawyer Sunrooms, and instead of playing the typical bed that we have in, I figured we'd play Buzz's call from the weekend at the Tournament of Champions.
7 seconds, 6. She drives, kicks it out. Cadence for 3. It's on the way. Yes! Yes! What a huge 3 from Cadence Fleming. Oh, my! Oh! 57-53 with 1:05 left.
So that three-pointer ended up clinching the Tournament of Championship. So congratulations to the Northside Lady Grizzlies and Buzz Sawyer on Bears. What did I say?
You said Lady Grizzlies. They're the Lady Bears.
Oh, there's a okay.
That's the Northside Lady Bears.
I'm gonna relay that. I'm gonna give that to you. Did not know that, but it's because I'm just
thank you.
All I'm doing is reading off Facebook. But congratulations to them and their victory this weekend. Did you ref any of those games?
I did not.
Okay. Were you reffing in all this as basketball started
I had
for you?
a game at, and this will be a name that you may know it, but Clay will definitely know when I say Abe Lemons. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. I was at Abe Lemons Arena at Oklahoma City University on Saturday, and that's a name that if you're an old Southwest Conference guy, Clay, you probably know Abe Lemons.
I covered him also when he was at Oklahoma City University.
Okay, well, that's where I was this weekend.
He was at Pan American, and then he was at Texas, Oklahoma City. Yep, I had a little run-in with him at a Hall of Fame dinner in Oklahoma City one time, and he wasn't being honored. Bill Connors, my boss at Tulsa World, was, and he looked over me and he called me a name, and I just kind of looked at him. He goes, "Well, you're from Arkansas," and I just kind of brushed it off and went on. He's not a nice man. I wondered, back to
welcome
the
to Abe Lemons
question.
Arena,
Yeah.
Oklahoma City University.
Yeah,
Clay just.
Don't you have sisters?
Yes, I do, Clay.
Why don't you ask them about the deodorant thing
Okay.
and get a little, get them to point you in the right direction.
We've got about 20 texts this morning on
some choices,
different varieties and choices. So I'm gonna have to. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
buy.
you
all
can try it differently.
Exactly.
The proof's in the pudding. I mean, just to see how it goes. And I'm not suggesting you use pudding as a deodorant.
No, don't want to do that.
Yeah. But I think that they probably would help you. I mean, I think that's the kind of relationship you have with them, from what I've heard.
I would agree with that. I think
Yeah.
if I asked them, they would give me some some advice on that. So we played the Kansas City highlight there. Chiefs win 21-7 against the Browns this weekend. Patrick Mahomes gets injured. Curious to see what it looks like. You heard Andy Reid talking about his injury. I'm again, is the team that right now that's not only leading the AFC but leading all of the National Football League. Detroit drops one yesterday to Buffalo in an epic game in Ford Field. Just kind of that impact it has here in the next couple of weeks. Clay, I know you're in Chiefs country. What have people been saying about that injury and maybe how it impacts the Chiefs here down the stretch of the regular season?
Hadn't talked to too many people about that. And I've just kind of been around the house last day. But I think the way to view that is that they've got their place in the playoffs locked up, and they can. He needs to sit out anyway. He's going to get hurt. This is a good time to get hurt.
He's listed as week to week right now.
Yeah, and he's pretty tough. He's a quick healer. I would think he'll be okay for the playoffs. But I tell you, the team to worry about is the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm. They win yesterday, Detroit. What a game that was! Similar to the week before against Los Angeles, they got it going. And in that game, former Razorback Dan Skipper had a touchdown.
Fake it to him this time, and they got a wide open target. It's one of the linemen. It's Skipper to the end zone for the touchdown. Dan Skipper. All 6'9" of them.
Didn't seem to be an issue in that play, reporting eligible or not. So I was happy for Dan. But
good luck tackling him if he gets ahead of speed.
I'm with you on that, Tommy. I don't think anyone.
You go for the ankles. That's what you do.
The Lions fall 48-42. But that was the best game I thought of the day. Back and forth.
Terrific game.
Yeah, Josh Allen has pretty much locked up the MVP trophy. He's been fantastic. Guys, I think we're just headed for another Buffalo, Kansas City AFC West title, or not AFC West, AFC title game, except this year it's going to be in Arrowhead rather than out in Orchard Park in Buffalo.
Yeah, those are good teams. And I don't watch, a terrible amount of pro football, but, those are the type games that you get juiced up for. And I love me some Dan Skipper. And, that – You have to cheer for Detroit because they've got those Razorbacks that are playing there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the kicker, and you got Frank Ragnow. I mean, Frank Ragnow, he's among the most favorite players that I've covered at Arkansas. And we got lucky that he spent a summer as an intern with Bo's show, so we got to spend, kind of, behind the scenes, and he's just as good as everybody says he is. I'm talking about just was one of the guys with the other interns. It's like, hey, it's Bo was really bad about saying, hey, I think I need me a, something from this, drive-through. Like I want a Sonic or I want, and Frank was all, hey, I got that. I'll go get it. And, that's, I don't know that that's as common as we think, that those kind of players that also are that kind of people.
I guarantee you in today's NIL world,
they're not, are they?
Where they're getting, six-figure incomes. That's, a player like, no,
they got gophers for them.
Yeah. Hey, boss, let me DoorDash that for you, and I'll pay for it. Yeah. They're not interning anymore.
Yeah, little difference. And back to what's going on in the NIL and transfer portal with Arkansas, some recent moves right now when it comes to Arkansas's football program. So guys that have left the program, Josh Braun recently announced to Kentucky. Spence is heading to Texas. Luke Has, Jalen Braxton, and Patrick Kudus are heading to Ole Miss. As far as guys that Arkansas has gotten to sign, you've got McCroy, the offensive lineman from Oregon, Sharp, the wide receiver from Fresno State, and then Walker, who's the defensive back from Oklahoma, who have been the recent additions for this Arkansas this Arkansas football program in terms of signees. They've also got Keyshawn Davila, who's committed to the football program, who's the number one JUCO cornerback in this upcoming transfer portal class. So while there are a lot more transfers out, you're starting to see some guys trickle in. And I would guess this week, based on Pittman saying, give us about a week and a half and see what happens, you'll start to see more guys announce and more of this be made publicly throughout this week. And then you got to simultaneously focus on that and bowl prep as well as they get ready for Texas Tech not this Friday, but next Friday.
All right, this hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Sawyer Sunrooms. We heard Buzz there at the start of the segment. He's been the voice of the Grizzlies and Lady Bears for a while, and we always love hearing those big calls. They've been in business since 1990, And they're locally owned and operated. Buzz and his family build sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas. They can redo your driveway, put new windows in your home, including decorative concrete for your driveway as well. So if you want something stained and stamped and those type of things, no problem at all. Lifetime products on many of the things they do. They do commercial and residential, and they come with quality workmanship and warranties as well. Go to Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. That's Sawyers-Sunrooms.com, or see Buzz and his family and team at Sawyer Sunrooms, 8605 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith.
Could 12 basketball teams from the conference make the NCAA tournament? We'll answer that next.
It's Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush. Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Into the front court, Zero with a flush.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Swing into savings this Christmas at the Golf Nut with these unbeatable offers. TaylorMade Q I-10 woods and irons up to $100 off. Ping G430 driver, only $399. And Callaway AI smoke driver, now only $499.99. Lessons are always a great idea for your golfer. Contact Matt Brooks to set up an appointment. Give the gift of a better game this Christmas at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Shop now and make this season a hole-in-one.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote. Get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
But except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
So the SEC right now is, man, it's good. Here's John Calipari after the win over UCA.
When I walked in this league 15 years ago, there were 3 teams getting in. I know Billy did some good stuff, and then we did some good stuff. You win, and we did some Final Fours. But it was limited teams. You remember when I used to say we need to get 8 in, and I was full of crap. I was saying whatever I was saying, trying to help guys. But the reality of it is now I think there'll be 2. Now listen to this. I've been wrong before. 1978, I think it was. But I think there'll be 2 teams with losing records in our league that'll get in the NCAA tournament. You ready for this? And in all likelihood advance. That's how good this league is.
8-10 conference teams, guys, getting in the tournament. Not just doing that, but in Cal's own words, maybe advancing past the first round. You're probably going to see, I would be very surprised if you don't see double-digit teams make the NCAA tournament this year, which would be a record, Clay. The SEC, I mean, you just look up and down the list. Florida's at 9, Oklahoma's at 13, Tennessee's at 1, Kentucky's at 5, Auburn's number 2, State's not 25, Ole Miss is 19, A&M 17, Alabama's 7. The Razorbacks are not ranked, but man, it's just top to bottom. It's as impressive as it's ever been. This was what Mike Slive, I guess, envisioned long ago with this basketball conference.
Yeah, I think that you've seen the trickle down, from the huge, TV contracts that they're able to spend money in basketball. And we started noticing, 7 or 8 years ago that there were a lot of good coaches. Mm-hmm. And it's just continued to be that way. And I think the NIL money that's being spent in basketball is way up there. It's not just Arkansas. I mean, they're all spending money, and the best players are in the SEC. And I think we noticed it a little bit in the NBA draft.
I think it even separates the pretenders, from the really great coaches. And what I mean by that, I think about a guy like Kermit Davis who had success elsewhere outside the SEC, comes here, not so much, and gone after 4 years or whatever at Ole Miss. I mean, so I think it also has also some guys that have had success in other parts of the country come to this league, and it can chew you up and spit you out pretty quick as well, just like it does in football.
Yeah, I wonder how many losses the SEC champion will have. Will it be 5 or 6 losses?
4 or 5 at least, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why I was saying it could be. I mean, if it's more than that, I think that's a good sign for the league. But, when I've watched Tennessee and I've watched Auburn and I've watched Alabama, they look really good. And
Florida.
Yeah, I think
watch
Florida's
out for them.
good
They look good too.
Yeah, I think they're all. I wanted to think that Kentucky was going to slip and that Mark Pope wasn't the thing, but when I've watched them play, they've been terrific.
You think about your first 3 games in conference are all against ranked opponents. Tennessee on the road, number 1 team in the country. Then you come back to Bud Walton Arena, Ole Miss, top 25. And then the first Saturday game in SEC is Florida, who's also really good. So your first 3 games in conference are ranked, and that is not easy. SEC did have a good showing this weekend, only 1 team loss. That would be LSU to SMU. You look at something like Bama beat Creighton. Oklahoma defeated rival Oklahoma State. Auburn crushed Ohio State. A&M got a big win in Indianapolis over Purdue. So the SEC has looked really good. Tennessee went to Champaign, Illinois, and beat the Fighting Illini. So the SEC had a banner weekend in basketball. As far as football goes, Jackson Arnold Originally thought that he was headed to Mississippi State to play for Jeff Lebby. Guy recruited him in Starkville. He signed with Auburn. They've really pushed that. And then Michael Van Buren is transferring to LSU. So if you're Jeff Lebby, the guy you thought we were going to get, not coming, and the guy that was your quarterback is gone. So tough day, and I know Mississippi State did not have a good weekend as far as their football program is concerned.
Mississippi State's still Mississippi State, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, that's that's kind of one of those, jobs that it just doesn't ever seem to, I believe that they were in a good spot with Mike Leach and the way he played and his, his stick or whatever you want to call it, it played well there. I thought he was a perfect fit for them, just as he was, at Washington State. And that you might need the odd duck to be successful there.
Well, the best they've done in recent time was Dan Mullen. He jumped for Florida and then, out to TV and now to UNLV. So it takes the right fit, but it takes getting the right quarterback because they were really good when they had a guy like Dak Prescott there. So
yeah, they were. Yeah, it's and they had some good defensive tackles too. I mean, when you look around the NFL, some of those guys are still playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Jones, that's the heart and soul of the Chiefs defense. He was a Mississippi State guy.
Absolutely. All right, that's your SEC update brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. If you're feeling stressed out at the holidays, get ready for a break with a new spa and de-stress for less during the hot tub sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Melt away that stress in the world's best-selling hot tub made by Hot Springs, designed to rejuvenate your body and your mind and save up to $7,000 right now. Plus, enjoy free local delivery, installation, and water testing as well. Treat yourself to pure relaxation with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. At Burton's, they don't just sell hot tubs. No, sir. They build long-term relationships. Find Burton's in Fort Smith, Greenland, and in Springdale.
So Army-Navy also happened this weekend.
From West Point, here come the Black Knights with the Apache helicopters overhead. And from only about 25 miles away in Annapolis, the midshipmen of Navy. Here they come. The Super Hornet flyover. And we're getting closer to kickoff.
That's appointment television for me every single year. Something I've always watched with my dad growing up. Army gets upset, and not just upset. They got smacked around a little bit, 31-13. They were ranked heading into that game and favored. Guys, Navy just kind of chopped them up this weekend. I will say this, is it like as great as it is to have that being the lone college football game, I will be shocked if they don't move the college football playoff up and have it starting on a Saturday, this past Saturday. I think that's coming in our future, to be honest.
A week following championship games?
Yep, because then they'll have the bye and they'll move everything up a little bit. Because, I mean, there's all the entire Saturday is open. There's no NFL games. With the exception of that game.
This past weekend.
Yeah, this past weekend. I think that the college football playoff will eventually move up. And initially I wasn't in favor of it, but now I think I am because there's this dead period.
Ty, what you said makes sense, but I don't think it'll happen because of logistics. And you just, unless it's just really hard for 1 week to schedule everything that needs to be, and TV's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
They have to get set up. They need 2 weeks to get all the travel plans, all the logistics for, the start of the playoffs. It's so because you don't know where any of the games are going to be. So you can't just snap your finger on a Sunday and then play a game on a Friday or a Saturday like what they're, the first game is Friday. Yeah, it is just a logistical nightmare. In fact, I talked to Bill Hancock about that, and he said they need that 2 week gap because you just don't know who any of the teams are until that Sunday.
Hey, quick word for Gaston's White River Resort. Gift card season is here. If you're looking for the perfect gift for your teammates at work, for clients or family, or that person on your list that loves to go to Gaston's and loves the White River, a Gaston's gift card is the perfect gift. Get them in any size and denomination. They'll get them to you to put in that stocking this Christmas season. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Streaming live from HitThatLive.com.
I love the show, guys. Listen to you every morning.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It does my heart good when Texas football, Texas basketball, and Texas baseball suck.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch
got the pass, laid it in, 77-46 Razorback.
This is the Morning Rush.
When he's spirited, you see he can do things the normal guy can't do.
That was John Calipari on his radio show talking about Trevin Brazil, who had himself a solid game in Little Rock. 11 points, 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, had 7 rebounds and 5 blocks. That's the thing I've noticed about his game thus far. And it's been against some good competition, too. Now, UCA sometimes couldn't get the ball past midcourt, so I wouldn't necessarily say that, but we saw him make the play in the Michigan game in NYC, and hopefully he can make plays in SEC play as he continues on. We'll talk some basketball again. Arkansas wins 82-57, but I also want to go back to the conversation we were just having about this past weekend and whether or not football should be played in it or not.
All right, we'll do that here in just a moment. First, I want to tell you about Sassy's. They got 2 locations in Fayetteville, the original Red House, and then the location just off the newly redesigned Weddington exit on Steamboat Drive. Perfect time to get in for holiday gatherings, friends and neighbors. You're getting together. Maybe you're doing something at your house, but you don't have time to cook everything. Sassy's can help you with that as well with some of their big razor packs and things that you can order at sassysbarbecue.com. But, man, a lot of times you have family and friends and people coming in from out of town. You're just looking for a great place to eat. Sassy's is it. Lunch parties for your workplace or church groups or whatever. Sassy's is the perfect spot. That's Sassy's original Red House on North College. Sassy's Barbecue and Grill just off the Weddington exit in Fayetteville. Eat, drink, and be sassy.
So my dad was texting me that finals also impact last week. I told him, I was like, I think they could work it out. I mean, what do you think? Am I onto something? And Clay makes very solid points about television. And if you missed it, the conversation that we had last segment was, hey, why not have college football this past weekend? But then Clay raises, again, very salient points that he had with Bill Hancock. It's like, from Sunday to Friday to figure it all out, that does seem like a tough time.
No, you can't because you got hotels, you got teams that got to travel. Get a charter jet, go into a hotel on a 5-day notice, isn't going to happen, and having those rooms blocked. The logistics that go into a home game are incredibly detailed and extensive, from local law enforcement to help with traffic flow to you got to get, the tickets are the easier part now because they're all digital, but you got to have concession stand people. Television's a huge part of it. They can probably deploy and, all right, we're going to probably 4 of these 7 or 8 possibilities. They'll know in advance. That could be handled. But the idea that a university and a campus can be ready for a home game with basically 4.5 days notice, that's not realistic. Not realistic at all.
So you think that because they had it a year where they butchered it and put it, and I know it depends on where it falls in the calendar, but remember when they had it on New Year's Eve and the ratings were terrible and they were like, well, people watch it anyway because it's college football. But is there a way to balance that out at all?
If you want to have more choices on the weekend that Army Navy generally has gotten to itself, if that's what you're a proponent of, then I would look at moving the season back a week.
Okay.
Now that's something I think could be looked at. Now, the NFL and college football have coexisted, and their opening weekend for college football has been without the NFL, but maybe you're willing to give that up. The turf battles have come on those Saturdays when the NFL's wrapping up its regular season, even getting into wild card games early where college football hasn't competed. I mean,
and it heats up this year.
The other thing is, you get into what can TV can't put an NFL and a CBS can't have their NFL and college football on at the same time. So there's choices that have to be made there. You're not going to beat the NFL when networks have to choose. They're going to choose the NFL.
Well, and the games are on ESPN, Max, and TNT, I believe. So CBS isn't a factor, at least in the college football playoff, but it is the NFL.
Yep.
So you got to balance kind of that out. And what been one of the great things about like having something on after the NFL is what we saw this past Thanksgiving with basketball.
That ABC, ESPN, or just ESPN?
I don't have that off the top of my head. I just know that I haven't looked at the network assignments and whatnot, but that's just kind of the side of my top.
I don't think you need to rearrange the entire apple cart over one Saturday in December.
Look that up. See if it's ABC or ESPN when it comes to
maybe/. I don't know if the ABC platform is included in that rights package or not, but I would assume it is.
And we're anticipating this Liberty Bowl, not this Friday, but next Friday, December 27th, 6 o'clock on ESPN. Saw Marshall's opting out of their bowl. I mean, how many times?
The first of there's going to be more. Maybe not this year, but more moving forward.
I haven't seen. I mean, the last time I looked, Arkansas was leading. They're not in danger. I mean, that's not any.
Well,
is Arkansas in danger of that?
I don't know. I no reason to believe that at this point. But
between
this is why I was pounding the pulpit last week that the portal period has to be moved to early January. If you really want to preserve the bowls and what they are, and I know that really the ones like the Liberty Bowl don't have the impact and matter as much as they once did. I get all that, but I don't think you can't have them exist and then have teams that are gutted show up to play. That's not fair to the fans and the sponsors and the people that pay money and the city and the hotels and the restaurants and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So if we're going to have bowls for all of these teams, then the portal needs to move to like January 2nd or whatever, and that's when it opens.
Well, you always.
Now, that's not going to keep players from necessarily saying, well, I'm out. I'm not playing anyway, but I think that would eliminate some of the problems we're going to see.
I know injury is always a concern for guys thinking about their future, but I would think that there is still like reason to show if you want to go somewhere else, it's like, hey, this is what I'm going to do in this bowl game against just another basically tape game, right? Like if that's your desire to jump ship and everything, to your point about bowls, that would be that. Now, what you always talk about, and you're right, is like the tie-in of school and academic calendars and whatnot. I know I don't have the Arkansas UARC academic calendar in front of me, but what is it, the second week of January usually? It's not the first one.
And I just got a question from Jeff listening in Salem Springs. When do they enroll in school? Well, sometime before January 15th. Listen, these guys are making hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million or more dollars. They can figure it out. The school can help them figure it out. You can enroll online. I don't think there's a problem. And listen, there's so much tampering. These guys, you think none of these guys knew where they were going before they entered the portal?
Yeah.
Well, of course they did.
Luke Kaz, Jalen Braxton, and Patrick Hoos just stumbled upon Ole Miss.
Listen, my solution's not going to solve all the problems.
Yeah.
But you just think about everything that happens with that portal opening the Monday following the championship games, what the coaches are dealing with, National Signing Day. Something's got to give. And if we care at all, and we say we do about these bowl games and how good they are for the practices, and I personally believe they're good for the economies of the markets that have them. You think Memphis hotels and restaurants benefit from the Liberty Bowl?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. And the other little thing that no one talks about, who owns most of these?
ESPN.
A chunk of them. They're ESPN events. The Birmingham Bowl's one example of like 17 events that ESPN owns, including the Jimmy V Classic you just played in. But they own a bunch of these bowl games, run it, and they create them for things to put on TV. So they would benefit as much as anyone if something was to give on that. And I think moving the portal opening date back is something that has to be discussed.
If you've got some thoughts on this, jump in here, 877-377-6963. It is a Hot Take Monday brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV. In conjunction with the Liberty Bowl, we should also mention that Baron Morton, Texas Tech's starting quarterback, is going to have surgery and is not going to play in the bowl game. He's passed for nearly 3,500 yards and 27 touchdowns this season. Their backup does not have a lot of game action, not just this year, but in college overall. So that will impact if you go to the Bet Saracen app right now. It is a pick'em game. That line is shifted. Arkansas initially a favorite, then Texas Tech was the favorite, and now it's a bowl game, picking back and forth on that situation and everything else. You do have, Tommy mentioned, again, college football Friday night. Now, we don't get this during the college football season with the exceptions of some smaller group of 5 schools, but I'm excited for this Friday. I'm excited to watch some of these college football games ahead, not just on Saturday where they typically fall on, but this is something that's unique. This will be the first year that you got really a chance to see with the 12-team playoff. But this weekend between the NFL as their regular season is coming to an end and then the first inaugural 12-team playoff, this is going to be a fun weekend. You're going to be on your couch or lazy boy or whatever pretty much the whole weekend. I don't think a lot of stuff's going to get done.
Well, I think it gives you some things to anchor your weekend around, and particularly if you have a team involved. But I think the ratings are going to be high for this weekend, so I think people are going to watch. I think particularly if there's snow and winter weather at some of these some of these places, it's going to make. I mean, those games generally when they happen in the NFL go through the roof on ratings. So yeah, I think there's a chance that you're going to have some of the most watched college football events of all time.
Yeah, you've got the one college football playoff game on Friday night in South Bend, Indiana, where Indiana will take on Notre Dame, and then 3 of the other games fall on Saturday. SMU travels up to State College. Clemson goes to Texas. Arch Manning. Quinn Ewers and Cade Klubnik actually played against each other in the state championship back in Texas high school football, so it's a rematch of sorts. And then the best game of the weekend, in my opinion, is Tennessee going to Columbus, Ohio to take on Ryan Day. Tommy, if Ryan Day loses his game this weekend, he will be fired. They'll finish the season 10-3, most expensive roster in college football, lost to Michigan 4 straight years. If Ohio State loses to Tennessee at home in the first ever home college football playoff game in the Horseshoe, he will be let go after this game. I don't know what his buyout is. I don't care. They will find a way to kick him out.
And replace him with who?
And the domino effect starts because that's a massive college.
Replace him with who and get better.
It's one of the best, 5 college football jobs out there? Maybe 3, top 3.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
5 for sure, but I wouldn't, if you said top 3, I don't really have
to me, LSU's the best job in college football. The last 3 coaches outside of Brian Kelly have won national championships. I think it's the best job in the country. Baseball, too. But Ohio State, top 5, top 3, whatever you want to put it. That's what you have this weekend. So, again, 4 college football playoff games ahead this weekend. Plus, your Arkansas Razorbacks are back in Bud Walton Arena. They'll take on North Carolina A&T this weekend. Then Monday, they'll take on Greg Camp in Oakland, who Cal lost to in the NCAA tournament last year. Doesn't have the same squad or roster as he did the previous year, but Arkansas basketball back in action this weekend in the in Bud Walton Arena before it gets going, and you take on Tennessee for your first conference game.
Hey, I want to tell you about our friends at River City Coatings in Van Buren. For over 25 years, they have been powder coating and taking care of fabrication and items that you need that, hey, I don't want to have to crawl up here on scaffolding or a tall ladder and paint that thing 3 or 4 years from now. Why not powder coat it? Powder coating, A, is better for the environment. B, will last forever and withstands the abrasions, the weathering, and the things that traditional paint won't. And now, in addition to powder coating, River City Coatings offers laser cutting, press brake forming, and welding as well. So they're your one-stop shop for fabricating, forming, welding, and powder coating all in one place. 479-471-7675, 471-7675 for River City Coatings in Van Buren.
You were in New York. Cal had plenty to say after the win over UCA, including how impressed he was with fans and their attendance up in NYC.
But I walked out in New York, and I saw 8,000 people with red. I mean, it was crazy. And that's when I said, we got to play in New York every year. If 8,000 people will come, then we need to go.
New York next year, Chicago next year. Sounds like the non-conference schedule is coming together. But him talking about attendance in Madison Square Garden, I know it's been a hot-button topic about attendance in Bud Walton Arena. You've got a Saturday game, and then you've got a Monday game, and then conference play here in a couple of weeks. Do we start to see with that win over Michigan, do we start to see some increase, or is it holidays going to?
I think opponent matters. I think if you had played Michigan in Bud Walton, it'd have been full.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you'd have played Illinois in Bud Walton, it'd have been full. Maybe not on Thanksgiving Day, but on a normal Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that North Carolina A&T or Oakland are going to fill the house, particularly
especially
in the last,
Monday night. Yeah.
Well, but the A&T game is Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the last Saturday before Christmas.
I think it's 1 o'clock. I remember that right.
Well, I don't care what time it is. You've got your list of things that better get
1:30.
done. Kids are going to be getting out of school. Some will go on a short trip before Christmas. I don't know. I think you'll have a bigger crowd, but I don't think you're going to have 19,000 in there for North Carolina A&T. It's going to be the Tennessee game. You better be 11-2 at that point. And, then you're going to start seeing, right? Is Tennessee still number 1 in the poll?
Mm-hmm. They won this weekend against Illinois by 2.
Good chance the number 1 team in the country is coming to your house for the conference opener.
Yeah. Well, no, you're going there. You're going to Knoxville.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So Tennessee.
Yep. So. And the guy that has been, what I guess, yeah. Which
just starting out with old number 1.
Yeah. First game of the SEC.
January 4th, I guess.
You did get one of their best players from last season in Jonas Aidoo, and he's definitely changed this team. Here's Cal on him.
It's nice now we can throw the ball to Jonas and he can make decisions, and he can score around the basket. You're seeing why we wanted him here. You're also seeing why he was an all-conference player.
Yeah, defensively, he's been good. Didn't miss a shot on Saturday. 6 of 6, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. And you're just, like Cal just kind of said, they threw it inside, and he makes plays. He's been turnover pro at times this season. He's dealing with an ankle issue. He's not fully healthy. Adu Thero did not play on Saturday. The good thing is you didn't seem to need both those guys in terms of a ton of volume of playing. You saw a little bit of Big Z, but didn't see any of Thero just because he's dealing with the fever and everything. But it was encouraging to see 6 guys in double figures, including Jonas Adu, who's a perfect 6 of 6 from the field.
Well, and 25 minutes is the number I like from the line more than anything. And you know what I've been preaching the last 3 weeks? Mm-hmm. You don't really know what this basketball team is going to be until he plays a significant amount of minutes. And we started to see that in New York. And I think as much as him, it's Trevor Brazile and the impact he's had. Him coming back's been, I think, a bigger impact than any of us have imagined. But now that we've got Adu hopefully healthy, I think he's still favoring that foot a bit. Doesn't look like he's running as fluidly, maybe as he did a year ago.
Joking about that with him.
So maybe, I think there's still more ceiling there. But I've said for a few weeks, you're not going to really know what this team's about until you get him out there, because I think the style and the way they can play is starting to change with him present on the floor more minutes.
We played the cut from Cal earlier talking about the SEC. He knows it because he coaches it. Well, another guy that watches it is Joe Lunardi, and here's what he said about the conference yesterday.
Yeah, it's the SEC, and it's not really close after that. I think in terms of overall number of bids in March, the Big Ten would be next. They are going to threaten double digits. But, of course, we've seen the Big Ten with its struggles in the tournament in recent years going, a quarter of a century now without a title. And even the SEC's last title was Kentucky. What was that, 2012 with Andy?
Do you feel pretty confident that an SEC team is going to win the title this year? And he just referenced, you hadn't won since 2012. It's been over a decade. Big Ten hadn't won since, I think, 2000 with Izzo and that Michigan State squad. You're going to get probably double-digit teams. Christian, you're over there. You got the mic on. Do you think this is the year the SEC gets it done for the first time in over a decade?
I think that the chances of it happening this year are obviously greater with you getting more teams in, all that. But, obviously there's teams like Kansas, North Carolina, Duke. All those teams still have a shot. Obviously UConn, if they turn it on.
I think you got
last year, this was like an old Big East league as far as the physicality in the SEC. I'd say compared to watching the Big 12, compared to watching the ACC and other leagues, would you say a year ago the SEC banged on each other a little bit more than some other leagues?
Just more athleticism and physicality, it seems like, in this league.
So the answer is yes?
Yeah.
I think this year it's going to be much the same, where you physically beat each other up. So I don't know if I'm more or less confident, because I don't know what the health of these teams is going to be coming out of this league, as tough as it's going to be. So is the Kansas or even a Duke or UNC coming out? I don't think it's going to be as hard navigating the ACC and certainly the Big 12, where you can rest guys, fewer minutes, load management. I don't think you're going to have those. You're not going to have that luxury, because as Clay was talking about, and he's dead on, the champion, the regular season champion, may have 4 or 5 losses. You may have a 4-way tie with 5 losses. And that's why Cal's talking about teams that are 8-10 in SEC play making the tournament and winning games.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the committee uses the eye test a lot this year and doesn't look just at record and throw people out based on that.
You brought up something important. You want to be 11-2 heading into that Tennessee game.
Yeah,
I'm not thinking that's that they're going to walk away with the win, being what Tennessee is defensively, and that'll be in their first, again, really true road test. But
and you don't want to have to explain a loss to North Carolina A&T or Oakland.
No, you don't,
because you don't want to give Kentucky fans any ammo if you lose to Oakland.
Yeah, because Cal brought it up. I mean, they don't have. Illinois took Tennessee, number 1 team in the country, to the brink. They only lost by 2, and then Baylor is a top 25 opponent. You don't have any bad losses right now, and you don't want to give yourself that.
And
because
you played poorly against Illinois.
Yeah, and if you're right around 500 in SEC play, you're going to make the NCAA tournament. Now, you want to be better than that because you want a higher seed and everything else, but I think I feel pretty confidently that the SEC is going to have a national championship after this year, just because of how
this team's going to have to toughen up a little bit, and I think that's where he's headed. If you're going to be in that group of teams competing, at 4, 5, 6 losses, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't think you have to win the league. I ain't worried about winning the league. I'm just worried about being a good enough seed to have a chance to advance to the second weekend and beyond. Brought to you by WT Equipment. The best deals of the year are now between now and the end of the year as the 2023 and select 2024 Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors are being cleared out. Right now, choose 0% financing for up to 72 months or take up to $8,500 in cash back right now. For a limited time, get a free loader with your purchase right now at WT Equipment. Harvest the best deals of the year. The Value Bonanza is on now. WT Equipment's in Springdale. They have 7 locations around our state in Louisiana. These offers end December 31st. Find out more at WTEquip.com.
Also, I kind of thought of you when I heard this.
I've been wrong before. 1978, I think it was.
For all the married men out there, is that something that you've heard before? I've been wrong before, but it was only
I'm wrong a lot.
40 some odd year, 40 plus years ago when it came to Cal joking about that. That was I got a kick out of that this weekend. Last thing to get to, and we've touched on a few times this morning. Probably the biggest football topic being Braylon Russell has re-entered or entering for the first time. I think planned to enter it, or he did. I don't know. I don't have access to the transfer portal. Either way, according to his Twitter, it sounded like he's gone. Just some final summarization, overall thoughts on what looked to be the future running back that is now not going to be here in
Who's the biggest
Fayetteville.
loss in the portal? Is it Russell because of the number of years and the upside? Is it Luke Haas, a player that didn't have the impact you'd hoped this last season? Clay brought up a really good point. A lot of these guys, every one of them pretty much, the names we know and are wringing our hands over, all were on the injury list this year.
I love TJ Metcalf. From a personal standpoint, to me, it was TJ Metcalf.
And then the other question I have, and this was posed to me earlier today, and it's a great question. Can Sam replace SEC starters on his squad with other Power 4 SEC level starters? You know, should we be impressed with going and getting a kid from now it's worked out in the past. Drew Sanders is an example, but I think the equation's changed now with rev share and all this.
On that every year.
You know, maybe a kid from Georgia or Bama or somewhere like that, maybe, but you can't go just swap starter for backup at most SEC schools and feel like you've gotten ahead. Because I don't think depth is there across. I think NIL and portal have eliminated the depth even at the top. So, you know, are you trading up? I mean, that's what we're going to find out. Are you able to get starters away from Mississippi or from Florida or from a Georgia or something to come here to replace the starter you lost?
It doesn't
appear
like
that way so far.
It hasn't been. You referenced Sanders, Xavier Sorey. Like I'll
take a backup from a Georgia or Bama back then, but I don't think the depth at even Georgia or Bama is what it was 5 years ago.
Oh, it's not. Yeah,
it's not even close. And I think we know that. So the backup there is not as good now as the backup was 3 years ago.
Yeah. I think we talk about branding within college football, basketball, or whatever, and how certain teams are given the benefit. Well, certain players that come over are given the benefit where they went to school. I mean, I think the biggest example is the one that just made all SEC and second all time and now catches in a year, and it's Andrew Armstrong. Like no one knew about Texas A&M Commerce wide receiver Andrew Armstrong when he came over here. Now he's the exception; he's not the rule. But the branding aspect, I get that's a question, but I just want them to get good players because they got in players that weren't his namesake this past year, and they were better. So we'll see if they can have the same success in this upcoming season.
Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands like Brinkley, also Forest River and Grand Design are all there. Check out the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. You'll find it at Wheels RV. Stop in and see why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on a Hot Take Monday. If you missed any of our conversation, we had some fun with Clay Henry earlier talking all things football, basketball, and even deodorant. You can find it in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Also touched on a few things Cal had to say from their win against UCA and some other fun stuff here throughout the morning. Have not watched Yellowstone. Please don't give me the spoilers on what happened in last night's episode. I'm going to try and do that today here on Monday. So for Tommy, for Christian, I'm Ty. Halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Jones coming up next.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all. From